I am a tired boy. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have some more Dirt 4 news. So over on Reddit, the chief game designer Paul Coleman actually did an AMA, and he answered so many questions. I think it came out to like 300 posts in the end, so how that guy managed to do that for 2 straight hours, I don't know. I mean, like, it was kind of his job. I understand he's getting, like, this is basically his job, and if he didn't do it, he would have been in trouble. But that's a lot of people to reply to, and obviously that means that a few things were announced which we didn't previously know. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover that. There's a lot to cover today, as well as that the actual link to the AMA will be down in the description, but I'm gonna go over some of the key things, saves you guys reading through 300 posts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the first thing. So the first question is regarding a livery editor. So someone over Reddit asked about a livery editor and if it was possible to change numbers on cars, obviously for your certain rally livery. In response to that, Paul said, when you run your own team, you can choose your race number in the livery branding suite. Now, the most interesting part about that sentence is livery branding suite. Kind of indicates we might be getting a full-on livery editor. Now, that hasn't been confirmed, nor was it asked actually in the whole post as a whole as I was looking through. This literally finished up about 30 minutes ago. I was F5ing it to see all the questions come through. But it hints towards some type of in-depth wrap customization, which is really cool. How much I would die for a livery editor in Dirt 4, though. That would be really cool. The next question is regarding mods. Now, this was a bit weird. Again, I don't really think console mods will be a thing, but this is what Paul had to say. We'll be allowing mods where we can, but obviously we have to be careful with what we allow for licensing reasons. Now, I'm assuming he was regarding the PC version. I know there is console mods out there, for Fallout 4 I think's one, and there's a few of the games which do have it. I really doubt it's going to come to console. Obviously, PC is going to be a thing. But it's going to be really interesting to see how, A, they kind of moderate mods, and B, how they implement it. When he was asked about Steam Workshop, he did say that they would like to add this in the future, as it was something which was in Dirt Rally. However, now, you know, there isn't really anything there for that. Another question which was asked a shit ton was regarding split screen. Now, when asked about split screen, he said there was no plans for split screen in Dirt 4. However, when he was asked about hot seat local multiplayer, so it's obviously taking one person each turn, he did say that there was a design for this, but they're not sure if it's going to make the final cut yet. So there may or may not be some type of local multiplayer in the game at launch, but you know, kind of going off the amount of people which asked for split screen and the kind of replies he was giving, hopefully it's something they can do after launch. You know, it's definitely something they can do an update, and it'd be really cool to see some, you know, local split screen multiplayer come back. I am personally a huge advocate for split screen multiplayer. It's something which we don't really see in games all that much. It's a bit sad, really. I remember, you know, as a young kid, I used to spend hours upon hours playing split screen games, you know, just as a whole. And there's a certain feeling about thrashing a friend at a racing game who doesn't play racing games in person that you can't beat. You know, obviously when you're online, you can't actually see their face, their distraught face when they lose, and they just can't keep up with you. The next thing I'm going to talk about is DLC. Oh, that dreaded word that has plagued Forza games for a very long time. Not just Forza games, it's plagued gaming as a whole. Well, you will be happy to know that they are not currently working on DLC. I can't thank Codemasters enough for saying that. When asked about DLC, Paul did say that we haven't made any decisions about DLC yet. We are focusing on getting the game done. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. That is the best answer any dev can give. Not, you know, oh, we're working on DLC for post-launch. Not we're working on DLC for this and that. Before launch, you are supposed to work on getting the game perfect. And that is what they're doing. Freaking awesome. I absolutely love the kind of mentality that Codemasters have behind that. As a gamer, generally, I can't, you know, support that enough. That mentality is the mentality I believe every single developer should have, period. So the next question is regarding photo mode. Now, this was a feature I would personally like to see in the game. I like taking photos of my cars, and also it's very, very useful as a content creator. Obviously, there's a kind of a genre of like videos in the racing game community, like under cinematics. That's pretty much a genre, you know. When you think of cinematics, you think of Crown, you think of Jay, you think of, you know, Domestic Mango, those types of people. And if there wasn't a photo mode in the game, that would make that very hard for them to do their own thing on that game. But what Paul did say is that we currently definitely have a photo mode in design. However, they are unsure if it's going to make the final cut. It all depends on how the game goes in terms of development from now to June. So hopefully, if it doesn't actually make it on launch, it will make it past launch, because again, like I said, a photo mode is kind of one of those things. It's almost kind of essential. I wouldn't say it's one of those things which needs to be in a game. It's definitely not a need, but it's definitely one of those things which is slowly becoming an essential thing in a racing game. I mean, they've got, you know, Evolution Studios under their wing, and they had one amazing photo mode in Drive Club. So maybe it could be something across those lines. That's just me just speculating. But regardless, you know, a photo mode as a whole would be freaking awesome. In addition to that, since we're talking about graphics, someone on Reddit did ask what's going to happen for the PS4 Pro owners. You know, is there going to be visual upgrades or higher frame rates? And even for PC, what's going to be happening there? And he did say that they are looking to add HDR for PS4 Pro. And then obviously for high-end PC, there is a bunch of graphical improvements they're gonna make, which, to be honest, I kind of expected. For those who don't know, Dirt games always, and when I mean always look amazing. I'd say they're up there with some of the best looking games, you know, at the time of release. You know, if you go back to Dirt 3, if you go back to Dirt Showdown, those games still look ridiculously amazing on Ultra on PC. I'd say this is definitely a game to get on PC if you have a choice between getting it on console or PC. I would personally recommend PC purely based on the mod support and the graphics alone and the frame rates and stuff. Although, since we're kind of talking about this, I might as well go on to the console frame rate. So obviously, you know, when you're on console, there's always that worrying thought that you're not going to hit 60 FPS, you know, for Xbox One games especially. But it has been noted that the Xbox One frame rate will be 60 frames, which leads me to think that the PS4 will also be 60 frames. Please note the Xbox One frame rate will be locked to 60 frames, but nothing was said about the PS4 frame rate. I assume it would probably be the same, because again, there's not that much difference between the PS4 and the Xbox One. So that's pretty goddamn cool. The next thing I kind of want to touch on is regarding the track generator. So if you guys didn't already know, Dirt 4 is going to have its own track creator in the game. It's going to allow you to make your own rally stages. However, it's only going to allow you to make your own rally stages. If you had hopes that you could maybe make your own rallycross courses, that's not going to be available. It's only available for the stage rally modes. It's a bit annoying, but I can kind of forgive them, because, you know, it is now possible you can share those tracks you've made using RaceNet, which is kind of Dirt's equivalent to Autolog. And then you'll also be able to share your time so friends can beat your times on those created tracks. So it kind of allows you to make like an endless cycle of just tracks on stage, on rally stages alone. And it's really cool how they're kind of implementing it with social features, so literally anyone can do it. It's really, really cool. And finally, to round off this kind of summary video, the final question I actually thought was really interesting on the Reddit post, I went through all of them by the way, was how many players can simultaneously play in an online lobby? And the answer that was given was 8 players across all the disciplines. So that's rallycross, that's normal rally, that's, you know, land rush, every single mode. 8 players. I'm not really too fussed about 8 players. I feel like if it was to go any higher than that, that would be ridiculous. In addition to that, you can also, you know, change the format of the races. You know, there's ranked PvP as well as custom PvP, and in custom PvP, obviously, you can change certain modes. I'm sure there's going to be like a ghost mode where there's no collisions and stuff like that. So if you do want to go into those types of modes, that will be available. And again, it's really cool to see how in detail they've gone with online modes. I feel like racing games as a whole has been lacking that kind of online flair for a while. Need for Speed didn't particularly do it well. Forza, it's alright. I wouldn't say it's amazing, you know. I'd say Dirt is looking the most promising so far. And that's pretty much rounds it up for all of the interesting things I saw personally in that article. Again, the full link to the article will be down in the description, but be warned, like I said, 300 plus posts. I haven't played a Dirt game in its prime, so I can't wait to actually go into Dirt 4 and play it, you know, as it's alive, you know, in its immediate life cycle. That's going to be really, really cool. Every Dirt game I played after the fact, so it's kind of cool to play a Dirt game in its prime. And I like Dirt games, like I really do enjoy them. I've been playing through Dirt 3 recently, and I've really been having a jolly old time. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. Like I said, the links to the AMA will be down in the description, but you've been warned, it's 300 posts. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure you go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome day. Safe and peace.